A few weeks ago, I was sitting in my office reading through a white paper from NVIDIA in order to make a video for you guys that would simplify and answer all the crazy questions people had about the new multi-GPU and SLI configurations for the 1000 series and DirectX 12 era. Armed with the white paper, I thought this would be an easy task, but within an hour or two, I was collapsed onto my desk, contemplating the sheer futility of life. Since then, I have received answers to my multiple horrendously long emails to NVIDIA, ones that hopefully will allow me to shed some light on what the hell is going on. Kula Masters Mastercase Maker 5 features their freeform modular system, which allows you to customize, adjust, and upgrade. Make it yours at the link in the video description down below. First things first, the question that has been hotly debated since the keynote where they announced the GTX 1080 and 1070, is 3- and 4-way SLI still a thing? No, not for gaming. Only specifically overclocking and benchmarking applications like Firestrike, Catzilla, etc. That's it. I'm not even upset. I like this move. 3- and 4-way SLI are and have been always such an unjustifiable configuration that telling people very directly not to do it and going even further by not supporting it contributes nothing to NVIDIA's bottom line and saves people from lighting their money on fire. Good guy, NVIDIA. But all of that said, and this adds a lot of confusion to the topic, you can still play games with 3 or 4 graphics cards, and you can use the performance of all of them together, just not in classic SLI mode. This can be done with MDA mode, also known as multi-display adapter mode, or through LDA explicit, also known as link display adapter explicit mode. 2 different methods of GPU cooperation that are at least somewhat separate from LDA implicit mode, which is what NVIDIA will be using for SLI. What? Okay, I'll get more into those specifics later. It's not that bad. But here we go. Basically, game designers can explicitly code any degree of multi-GPU support for their games, including 3- and 4-way NVIDIA solutions. But please note that because this responsibility lies with the developers, don't expect it to happen much. Back to the modes. Which one is best out of the 3? Great question, and I can confidently tell you that we don't know yet. I don't have enough stuff to test, and in asking NVIDIA, their official response was that they don't have enough data yet and they need more DX12 multi-GPU enabled games, notice that part about developers probably not doing it much, in order to make any sort of qualitative determination, which also means that no, there will be no benchmarks in this video. That will come later, but I do have many more interesting things to say, so I would stay. So here's what we do know. NVIDIA's new high bandwidth SLI bridge is not required. You do need it for 5K gaming and surround gaming, but if you have one of those fancy LED bridges, you're fine for 4K gaming and 2560 by 1440p gaming at 120 Hz. And if you have a standard bridge, you can take another step down and do 2560 by 1440p at 60 Hz and 1920 by 1080 gaming. Yeah, NVIDIA will automatically notify you that your bridge is not good enough if you try to push it to a setup that is outside of those specifications. So I wouldn't worry about it much. Plug everything in, see if it works. If it does, you're good. If it doesn't, they'll tell you and you can fix it pretty easily. But Luke, you lie! They were saying things about Enthusiast Key that would allow us to unlock 3- and 4-way stuff. That software unlock does not exist. NVIDIA killed it. That was fast, and given how clear I've made my position on the merits of greater than 2-way SLI, it should come as no surprise that I think it's a good thing. But I also didn't buy 3 or 4 graphics cards already based on a promise that NVIDIA made that they would all work together with this thing called Enthusiast Key. I feel like that while a number of customers were impacted by this is probably fairly low, these individuals would represent the most die-hard of the die-hard NVIDIA fans and gaming enthusiasts, and they should probably have it made up to them in some way. Just saying. All right, but hold up, let's take a few steps back. How exactly does this MDA and LDA mode thing work? Well, when SLI is disabled in the NVIDIA control panel, your cards will be running in MDA mode. MDA is Microsoft allowing any set of GPUs to be used, including cross-brand. So theoretically, you can use an AMD card and an NVIDIA card and have them be all over the place in terms of tiers and stuff, and it should work. You can do this all at the same time. DirectX 12 new feature named Shared Fences allows for the synchronized commands to the various GPUs, and said GPUs will be able to share a pool of memory, which resides in system memory. All that kind of stuff is cool. When SLI is enabled, however, your setup will be in LDA mode, another Microsoft technology. The submode, LDA implicit, allows you to use the SLI bridge to transfer display data between GPUs without interference caused from other agents' activity on PCIe, and should, through this clearer communication method, allow for additional capabilities by utilizing the bridge, but we'll have to wait and see what the impact is of that. While in LDA mode, if the games are coded to support explicit multi-GPU, they will be able to scale, however well, with the amount of cards you have in the system without using the SLI bridge. Again, we'll have to wait to see how well this works, but this would theoretically allow you more than 2 cards. And that's basically all we have to work with at the moment. We will have to wait and see how MDA and LDA explicit modes handle regular 2-way operation compared to traditional SLI, and what the 3- and 4-way situation ends up looking like. So here's the final word. If you want to play games with your setup and aren't interested in just rerunning the same freaking benchmarking programs on the same freaking setup all day, you should probably stick with a maximum of 2 cards, and which mode works best will be heavily dependent on the game or application you're using. Oh, and I guess you could run 2 in SLI and a 3rd for PhysX if you just really hate your money. You can do that. TunnelBear is the simple VPN app that makes it easy to browse privately and enjoy a more open internet. With TunnelBear turned on, your Wi-Fi connection is more secure and your online activity is kept private from your internet provider, advertisers, and those nasty hacker guys. Anyone else that's trying to track your information and profit off of your data. TunnelBear has a top-rated privacy policy and does not log your activity. Try for free with 500 megabytes and no credit card required. And if you choose to get unlimited data, you can save 10% by going to tunnelbear.com/LTT. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video and like spending your money at least somewhat intelligently, hit that like button. If you dislike this video and you're like the Joker in that one Batman movie when he lights the entire pile of money on fire, that was actually pretty sick. If you're more like that, you can dislike the video. If you just thought that scene was cool and hit the dislike button, I won't hold it against you. That's fine. If you want to jump on the forum to discuss everything I said on here and argue about things, please argue like in a friendly way. If you want to discuss things, become a member on the forum. And if you want to see overclocking on GTX 1080 because it's like weird and there's like per voltage point offset stuff, click here because that's another video that's like a little advanced and interesting, and NVIDIA changed a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna go have a nap.